Hey everyone, lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen here. Today we're going to be talking about breaking news. Now, I know breaking news is kind of a general term. Let me explain what I mean when I say breaking news chat. So, built into StocksToTrade, and this is an amazing feature that I'm going to talk a lot about, but what it is actually a chat room that is composed of two 25-year ex-hedge fund analysts. They're out on their own now, but they work for me, baby. I love it. But basically what you do is you have access to two guys that have been reading the news, interpreting the news, and passing that off to basically hedge fund customers. Now they're on their own. They do it for us. They do it for me. They can do it for you. And what they're doing is using that experience and that knowledge to parse all of that information that you see every single day down to actionable stuff. Listen, I love X, okay, formerly Twitter. Many of you know my love of Elon. Elon saved the world by buying X, and I don't say that lightly. But the problem with Twitter, X, is you don't know who the people are. Maybe you do know them. You don't know what their agenda is. And so many people just post so much. Like how do you know if this piece of news or this stock, if it's actually actionable? And the simple fact is, listen, we know how social media platforms work, okay? The way people build a following is by posting all the time. I mean, if you look at some of the biggest accounts in financial Twitter or X, I mean, I think of like Zero Hedge, okay? I like Zero Hedge. But if you go to their Twitter account, 24 hours a day, sometimes hundreds of tweets a day, like how do you trade off that? I mean, how do you use that? So as much as it's just the nature of the beast, you know, to build a big following on a social media, you have to post a lot. And that's, you know, it can be kind of helpful, but if you're just reading all this stuff because they want to, you know, get pushed up in the algorithm, does that really help you? With breaking news, there's no agenda. It's built into the platform. You get to use it. I get to use it. Their only agenda is they want to give you actionable information. Like they're not trying to grow the following, okay? So what they do is using every data source, including social media. Like that's one of the great things I love about it. These guys are following all of those accounts, so you don't have to do that and then try and parse through that. So they parse the social media feeds for you. Many of you know my love of trading chat pumps and text pumps and these manipulated stocks. These guys are literally in every single prominent chat room out there. And listen, if you've been in these pumpy chat rooms, you know it's a disaster. Like you want to fast track to the loony bin, hang out in these pumper chat rooms. I mean, it's just like chaos. Bag holders, pumpers, bashers, fart jokes. Like it's just a disaster all day long. Like I do not want to read that stuff trying to find out what stock these guys are trying to move. I just want to know if they're pumping it. It's a low float stock and it has the potential, okay? So they parse that. All of the mainstream media feeds. I mean, Wall Street Journal, Barron's, they have good stuff. But you know, you go to the Wall Street Journal, you go to Barron's, you go to CNBC, they got like lifestyle stuff mixed in there. They got like, listen, I'm all into fitness, but like they got like fitness stuff and real estate stuff and all this stuff that you don't really care about. So now you got to parse all that. Not only that, but they have access to Bloombergs. Okay, listen, Bloombergs are awesome. They're $30,000 a year for a reason. So these guys are using Bloombergs so that you don't have to. I mean, it's kind of a shortcut, okay? So anything that's actionable and has the ability to actually move a stock or move markets. It's another great thing I like about them is they're talking about the big picture idea too, but not lifestyle stuff or exercise or diet tips or all this other stuff that gets mixed into all these other financial media sites. So all day long, all through the day, you've got a live feed of stuff that really matters. And you'll see, you know, kind of starting out early in the day, they're actually coaching a little bit, talking about risk to reward, managing trade setups. And then right into the market open, look at this feed, okay? This is a game changer, okay? You'll notice there's about, I'm counting in my head, but there's about 15 stocks here right through this feed, whether it be SSRK, MYTE. MYTE was one of the best stocks of the day today. still setting up in the afternoon, SRRK, HIMS, on down the line. Now, you'll notice that each one of these stocks that was moving in pre has a reason behind it. And I know a lot of you are struggling with that. You see some stock moving, why? Is it moving on no news? What is the news? Is it good news? Is it cancer news? Is it some fluffy PR? Every single pre-market gapper, you have the rationale, okay? You can see again, like starting with NYTE, they're buying out a company, Net-a-Porter. So NYTE, as of right now, one of the best stocks of the day. They bought out basically a competitor. If you're familiar with NYTE, they're like this clothing company, etc. Maybe you've heard of Net-a-Porter. It's like a competitor. They bought them out. Okay, so they're doing a roll-up. Typically very bullish for the stock. You knew the reason before the market opened, before this stock spiked 57%. You can then see some of these stocks are what they call a momentum mover. Now what that means is, by reading that, in a matter of seconds, you know that this stock is just moving on no news. So when you see momentum mover, it means it's a runner with no news. Now, if the price and volume and the chart is right, you day trade those. Now, a lot of the times, when you simply see a stock gapping up in pre and it's called a momentum mover, a lot of times that tells you to avoid it early because it might just be a bag holder pop. And then you look to trade them in the afternoon if it sustains the move. Then you kind of go through, going back to HIMS, okay? 8 HIMS, they make a lot of ED meds, diet meds, they've gotten into GLPs, etc. You can see that they're moving into the S&P Small Cap 600, okay? If you don't know what that is, that's, it doesn't usually create explosive moves, but these are great swing trades. So when these smaller stocks are added to some of these S&P indexes, basically what happens is a lot of funds, retirement funds, etc., I don't want to use the term forced to buy, but basically if it's an index fund, they have to start buying that stock, which typically creates very solid swing trade opportunities. And when I say swing trades, multiple days, multiple weeks, those nice slow grinders. So again, you see HIMS gapping up, you don't have to figure out why. You know that they're getting moved in the small cap S&P index. Pfizer, not a huge, one of the biggest biotech pharmaceutical companies in the world, okay? Obviously, you all know Pfizer. I think this video was brought to you by Pfizer, by the way. Joke, don't get mad at me. But anyway, you can see, gapping up a little bit. And you know why. Starboard, huge hedge fund, bought $1 billion stake, and they're basically taking an activist stake. So if you see Pfizer gapping up, you know why. There's a big hedge fund, dropped $1 billion, and what that means is, they're a PE, a private equity firm. They're going to go in there and they're going to be like, hey, we got $1 billion worth of your stock, boys. Let's clean up shop here and let's get this thing more profitable, okay? So, and I know I kind of keep repeating this, but all of these stocks, Coty, okay? Coty's been a decent runner. They were upgraded to a buy at Jefferies with a $12 price target. Stock's trading at $8 or $9. Jefferies is a well-respected firm. Odds are that if they put out a price target, stock's going to kind of head towards that price target. And then you go through, NVIDIA kicking off their AI summit in Washington, D.C. Zoom has an upcoming event. Tesla, actually kind of funny. I'm recording in a studio in Burbank. I did not realize, I'm so angry. In 2 days, the day after I fly out, the robo-taxi event is in Burbank. Maybe I'll change my flight and go visit Elon. But anyway, that huge announcement around the robo-taxis coming up. DJT, Donald Trump's social media company, Truth Social, was running. They got basically they had some shakeups in the executive firm, so they're getting some new executives. Typically that's bullish. And I could just run literally through the entire day. Bitcoin, you know what Bitcoin's doing. It's breaking 64,000 right here. Listen, a lot of these stocks, is particularly oil and gas stocks, they move around a lot of the conflicts in the Middle East. A lot of you don't have time to follow that. You can see right here at 11:01 a.m. Information has been received indicating that the Israeli response against Iran will occur soon. A U.S. security, so that's a U.S. security official, has said that things are probably going to ratchet up. Oil and gas stocks started popping off right after that, okay? So you don't have to sit there and hope you have some sort of news feed from a high-ranking U.S. security official that something might ratchet up in the Middle East. You knew it instantly because these guys have all the data sources. So what do? Probably trade some oil and gas stocks. They're all going wild today. Generac, okay? Generac's up 9% right now. The day I'm recording, Hurricane Milton's heating up, unfortunately, down south. And when that happens, Generac, they make the standby generators. Typically after hurricanes, people buy a bunch of them, whether they're replacing the one they have or they don't want to lose the power again. And, all day long, all the way up until now, Fed's Kashkari, okay? Neil Kashkari, maybe you know him, maybe you don't. He's one of the top guys at the Fed. He's talking about the economy turning around. They're giving you a read on the S&P, reacting to that. Here's another one, HHS, the Homeland Security, says the CDC is issuing a level 3 travel help for Rwanda tomorrow. Rwanda has reported 49 cases and 12 deaths from the Marburg virus. These Marburg plays have been moving. So just speeding through it, okay? Just think about all of that. Now, you might be watching this video a month later or 2 months later, and hopefully by then, things have settled down in the Middle East. Hopefully, the hurricane passed through and it wasn't as bad as we expected. Hopefully, Marburg isn't as bad as we expected. But the fact is, I never have to wonder why these stocks are moving, what the reason is, and this could be penny stocks, it could be the S&P, it could be oil and gas. I never, ever, ever have to guess why a stock is moving. And I'm telling you, if you focus, one of the biggest things for new traders is focusing. This allows you to avoid all the BS, all the fluff, and have two 25-year hedge fund analysts working for you. It's a game changer. Now, you might be saying, hopefully you're saying, how do I get this, Tim? Check out the Daily Income Trader system. We'll put a link below. Breaking news is included in it, okay? It's part of the bundle. And you get access to Oracle. You get access to StocksToTrade. You get access to live webinars with me multiple times a day and tons on top of that. If I explained everything in the Daily Income Trader system, this video would be another 15 minutes long. But if you see this and you're always wondering, why is this stock moving? Why is this sector moving? What's going on here? You can get every question answered in seconds, real time. Nobody's faster than these guys. And all you got to do is check out the Daily Income Trader system.